Hello everyone and welcome to Africa's Craziest, where we bring to you the good, the bad, and the outrageous insights about Africa. In today's video, we are looking at how African skilled workers can immigrate to Canada. Before we get started, kindly click on the subscription button and notification bell to be notified each time we put up a new video. Also remember to like, comment, and share if you find the video interesting. Here we are going to analyze how to immigrate to Canada as a skilled worker from Africa. The Canadian government's policy of admitting more immigrants from various countries is still in operation despite the disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic imbroglio in 2020. The current annual intake stood at about 400,000. The objective is to grow the Canadian economy and to meet its labor market challenges and skilled workforce shortages and more. The best time to key into the system or opportunity to move to Canada is now, in that the North American country remains the most open country in the world for immigrants from all over the world. There is a system in operation that enables new arrivals to start a new life legally that leads to permanent residency. The beauty of the system is that it does not discriminate against an immigrant country of origin. Either does it have per-country quotas in place? The important point is for the immigrant to meet Canada's class eligibility criteria. You are most welcome. Immigrants coming from Africa have been growing increasingly in recent years. Before the mass migration saga most African countries are experiencing, the total number of immigrants yearly from Africa has never stopped to be overwhelmingly high. Despite the COVID-19 imbroglio in the year 2020, many African citizens have secured a permanent residency in Canada. The following factors led to astronomical increase in Africans moving to Canada. 1. Language advantage. Most Africans are versed in speaking either French or English, therefore, it is not difficult to participate in the economic class programs. 2. The harsh and racially motivated policy adopted by the then American President Donald Trump banning some countries and negatively targeting Africans from entering the U.S. encouraged many African migrants to consider moving to Canada as a viable alternative without looking back. 3. The planlessness and lack of development of the youth by different African governments pushed the African working population outside and migrated in large numbers. Up till now, there is no hope in sight. Now let's look at some of the best ways to immigrate to Canada. 1. Express entry. For any qualified professional, the first way to consider migrating to Canada is called the express entry. Express entry is an online point-based system that the Canadian government introduced to manage permanent residence applications. The system favors professionally qualified applicants and those with work experience and language proficiency. It is imperative to check if you're eligible as a skilled worker. You have to attain minimum requirements such as skilled work experience, English proficiency, and educational attainments. For anyone interested in considering the express entry, the person should enter the express entry pool by taking an English test. Furthermore, you need to submit your certificates for assessment. An important part of the documents and information you must provide is your international passport, a detailed written employment offer, evidence of adequate funds to finance the trip, and finally the result of the English proficiency test. Submit your completed profile. Afterwards, the system will add you to the pool of applicants. Express entry rates applicants using a point-based system. Because you're in the pool, the system will score you using the following factors: your age, your level of education, your work experience, and your language proficiency. The next stage is to wait for an invitation from the Canadian authorities to apply for permanent residency as one of the steps of their regularly held express entry draws. As part of the assessment, anyone processing the express entry program as a skilled worker will complete the General Immigration Express Entry and Provincial Nominee programs. The above-mentioned form assesses skilled workers and professionals' eligibility for Canadian permanent residence. The process usually includes the submission of biometric fingerprints and photographs. Applicants with the highest scores will receive an invitation from the Canadian government to apply for permanent residency. Please note that you have 60 days to submit your application. 2. Get a work visa. If you're professionally qualified, such as healthcare professionals, nurses, pharmacy technicians, pharmacists, gerontologists, psychiatrist nursing, perioperative nurses, ENT nurses, dialysis nurses, public health nurses, cardiothoracic nurses, intensive care nurses, truck drivers, etc. You may not wait for express entry draws to migrate to Canada nowadays, in that there are urgent needs for various healthcare-related jobs currently in Canada. Especially those skilled workers with a minimum of 5 years of work experience in those aforementioned professions, you are guaranteed a job with good pay in Canada currently. Passing your IELTS is essential in your preparations. All you need is to get an accredited job recruiter to package your curriculum vitae, CV, for you. As long as you are honest in the presentation or packaging of your curriculum vitae, getting a job in Canada may be easier than waiting so long for express entry draws, which will certainly take a long time due to bureaucracy. 3. Travel to Canada on a visitor's visa. The third possibility to migrate to Canada as a skilled worker is to go on a visitor's visa if you have a relationship or friends in Canada. Alternatively, go as a tourist and search for a job in your profession. If you succeed, you can return and process a work visa. We've seen ambitious guys and smart professionals traveling to various Western European countries and obtaining Canadian visitors' visas, heading to Canada purposely to search for a better life. Don't stay in your comfort zone lazily and believe that it can't be done. Prepare to invest in migrating to Canada as a skilled worker. Frankly speaking, no matter your investment, you're surely guaranteed that the end is surely positive. By going the extra mile is an indication that you care for a better outcome. In the year 2017, when many of your compatriots left the United States of America, running away from Mr. Trump's racist rhetoric and policies, most entered Canada through the land borders. It seems impossible. Today they are in Canada as permanent residents. The direct way of express entry is more of a lottery ticket. 4. Study to stay approach. If you're a healthcare skilled worker with a professional certificate, the last option you can consider is to search for a university or college that offers postgraduate courses in your area of specialization and enroll for a minimum of 18 months of courses. These will guarantee you a professional license needed to get a job in Canada. Provided you can finance this study to stay approach, you are going to take off on a solid basis. This is one of the best ways to immigrate to Canada as a skilled worker. You may not need IELTS afterwards. Note that there are various ways to immigrate to Canada as an African skilled worker currently, such as provincial nominee programs that focus on a particular area in Canada that needs skilled workers to be based in the area and achieve permanent residency. All the 4 options we analyzed above are given with honesty, believing that choosing one or two of them will assist you in reaching the North American country and start a life legally. It will surely lead to permanent residency in Canada, without using an indirect approach such as refugee status that many leads to repatriation at the end. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and why not share it with your network. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video on some of the craziest things about Africa.